Hello again, this is Crystal Kirchen, Psychic Medium. I really need to come up with like a better intro. I feel like I'm doing a cooking show. But anyway, I am doing a small video on protection and how I protect my house, how you can do stuff for your own house if you feel like there's something not so nice there. The reason I'm doing this is because a lot of the email inquiries that I get from people start off with, is it okay for me to go in your house? Is anything bad going to follow me after you're done? And one, that's awesome that you guys are thinking about that because a lot of people don't. So I just kind of want to touch base on how I protect my home. And also I get a lot of emails for people who are like, okay, my kids are saying this, there are creepy things in my house, and I just kind of want to show you. I think it's stupid to pay me to come and do a house cleansing because it's so easy to do and it's something you can do yourself. So that's why I'm doing this. A little bit of a backstory. Once again, psychic medium. I would rather use the word intuitive. I don't like psychic, but I am a medium. When I was little, I used to see the bad with the good. It was not just me seeing all these beautiful, wonderful spirits that I do today. I saw a lot of the bad stuff too, and they terrified me. They scared me to death. So as I got older, it got to a point where I didn't want to, I definitely had the blanket over the head trip because they were creepy, and I didn't like them. I saw shadows. I had been touched, I had been pushed. There were many things that happened to me growing up that made me not want to talk to spirits. So when it didn't matter if they were good or bad, I wanted them to leave me alone. When I was about 17 or 18, something horribly bad happened in my life, and it scared me so bad that I kind of turned away from any religious anything because it was so bad, and I thought it was a God thing, not a spirit thing, so it just creeped me out. Not going to tell you the story because really it involves somebody else and I don't feel comfortable telling that. It's their story, it just happened to me. So, with that being said, I've got some stuff laid out here that I've got my awesome husband working the camera in the back. He's trying to be a director for me tonight and it's just making me laugh hysterically. But anyway, I'll show you some of the stuff. It's going to be very short because I don't really have a lot of stuff for protection out here. A lot of people hear me talk about sage. I sage my house. I sage my house every single day. I have readings in my house every single day. So yes, I sage every day. I sage before a reading and I sage after my readings. The sage that I use is white sage. It's what I always use to do the cleansing in my home. And there's a lot of people that don't like sage. So for you guys, there is sage spray, which still has a very strong, potent smell. And if you have problems with your sinuses or you have problems with allergies or something, you might want to look at different ways to do a house cleansing. I know that Nicole Guillaume from Guiding Echoes, she I think is also going to be doing a video on how she does stuff because I know she does not sage. She uses sea salt in her rooms because what it does is it sucks in the negative and blah blah blah. Important thing to know that when you're saging, you're not necessarily getting rid of spirit, you're getting rid of energy. People think that when I talk about negative energy, I'm talking about spirit. No. We all carry energy around us, and I know you guys have went into the store and you're standing next to somebody who's screaming at the cashier because she needs to hurry the heck up, blah, 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 blah. And you're feeling this intenseness coming from this person and you're trying to step away. That's negative energy. That's all that is. We all carry a form of energy. So just because I sage doesn't mean that there's things lingering in my house. I actually refer to it as spirit bug spray. It gets rid of all the spiders that I don't want in here. So after I sage my house, once a month I go through and I also do a house blessing. I go through, I sage, and I think I forgot to say that when you sage, you do say a bit of a prayer. You say something as you're going through your house. Everybody's different. Some people believe in the universe, some people believe in God, some people only believe in earth. It's completely up to you, so Google how to correctly sage your house. There's a million different readings that you can say or prayers that can be said while you're doing this. Just find one that works right with you. That's all it needs to be. It's not anything huge or big. It takes 20 minutes of your time depending on how big your house is. So after that, be done with it. Once a month, when I'm blessing my house, I put a drop of holy water in every single room. And what I do is, as I'm putting that on, like in the room, I just kind of splash it around, and one drop works. I say, I bless this house with light, with light, with light, with love, with love, with love, to heal, to heal, to heal. Once a week, I do that in my reading room, because there are a lot, people are coming here to speak to their lost loved ones. And with that carries grief and healing and these major feelings. And so I bless my reading room once a week, because when somebody comes into my home, I want them to feel the warmth of spirit. I want them to feel the light of spirit. My only thing is to make sure that you guys hear the messages from your loved ones and walk away knowing that you got a beautiful message and that you're able to start the healing process. That is the most important thing when stepping into my home. And that is what I want you to feel as soon as you walk into my house, the warmth of spirit. So that's why I do my blessings. You can buy holy water. I don't buy holy water. I go down to the church and I'm like, hey, I need some holy water. And yeah, they look at me like I'm a little kooky and they ask me what I need it for. And I'm like, I gotta bless my house. But they give it to me. It's all nice, it's blessed. And you don't ever have to, as long as there's a drop in there and you refill it with tap water, it's still going to be blessed because it's touching that blessed water. So as long as there's still some left in the bottle, just keep refilling it and you're going to be okay. You don't ever have to be embarrassed twice. When it comes to things that I carry on me, I actually am a huge crystal person. My name is Crystal. I like crystals. So I actually only have, I think, 4 crystals that are used in protections. And one is a clear quartz crystal. That is really good. You can also do grids with crystals. I don't know if you guys know that, but you can do crystal grids. You can do all sorts of stuff with crystals to help protect your living space, living area, whatever. Clear quartz crystal. Sometimes I carry this on me. Not so much anymore because this was one of the things that I used to begin with, and I don't really feel like I need it so much anymore. I've kind of grown out of that. When I go to people's houses to do group readings, or every single day when I leave my house, I carry 2 things in my pocket. I carry black tourmaline, and this repels negative energy, and it also helps with fear or any of those wonderful, crazy feelings that people get. I don't usually get fear anymore because I don't see bad spirit anymore, but that's what black tourmaline is for. And I also use citrine. Citrine is a little bit different from the tourmaline. Citrine will suck in the negative energy. Tourmaline pushes it away. So I carry them both. Whatever that thing doesn't push away, this one sucks in. And I never have any problems. So it must work. I also have hematite. I love hematite. I don't know what it is about hematite, but I absolutely love it. And I've got it in 2 different things. I wear it in a necklace, and I also have it in my pocket sometimes. It's really strong, but it also works against, it's a protective stone. It helps with energies and stuff like that. So there are those things. And the stones are really more just to protect you when you're out and about in every day-to-day world. It's not necessarily for my house when I do readings. Stones are very particular. There's a million crystals out there and a million things that will help you for every area that you need help in. Amethyst is a beautiful stone, and it is also used for protection. I also, when we moved into this house, I put a protective barrier around my home because I want to make sure that my house is in a protective bubble. I ground myself every day, and when I'm grounding myself, I'm placing myself in a bubble of white light. That white light is making stuff bounce off me. It doesn't allow anything in that I don't want in. So, I want the same thing for my house. And regardless of what your religion is, whatever, and people don't have to do this, it's a little extreme, but because of what I do for a living, I wanted to do this. I felt comfortable with it. You can take, and I'm going to get rid of the little guy because he looks very strange. It's not a very St. Michael-y looking guy. You can pick up St. Michael pendants. You can get them at a Bible store, you can get them online, and there's a wonderful place in Lansing where I live in Charlotte, Michigan. There's a wonderful place in Lansing that sells these, and they're St. Michael pendants. What you do with these is you stick one of them, you bury them deep enough so they won't be dug up or whatever. You place them in one in each of the four corners of your lawn. I thankfully have a very four-cornery lawn. It's very square. A lot of people don't have square ones, so just ask St. Michael and your guides and your angels to be with you when you're doing this. Regardless if you have a square yard, circle, whatever. Always ask them to be present when you're doing this because they're going to guide you to where you need to place them. When you are placing them in the ground, you don't have to say a prayer. I just ask St. Michael to guide me where they need to be. And what I do is I put it down into the ground and then I place an amethyst on top of it because an amethyst is also a protective stone and it helps with healing, it helps with intuition, it helps with peace, love, happiness, all of those things. That's what amethyst does. So it works really good with Mr. St. Michael. I love him. He's my favorite angel. Not to tear down any of the other ones, but he helps me so much. So when you're placing them down in there, and I'm looking off to the side a little bit because I don't want to get sidetracked, ask St. Michael or thank St. Michael. You always pray as a thank you. You say thank you for providing this for me. And so it's already been done. So thank you, St. Michael, for placing a protective barrier around my home. I thank you, angels, for filling this protective bubble with white light. And you can say God's white light or the universe's white light. It doesn't matter, whatever you believe in, once again. With white light, love, healing powers. I thank you for letting anybody that steps into this protective bubble feel the warmth and love of this home. And then you say, I ask for this to be for the greater good of all concerned. And then, poof, it's done, you're sealed, you're buried, you're whatever. I also want to kind of throw in, these are, I have my pendulums, which I hardly ever use because they always lie to me, they give me bad information. I don't trust them very much. So I don't know if I'm doing those wrong. I'm sure Nicole Guillaume will see this and she will tell me whether or not I'm doing them right because she's awesome like that. But I also have this which has hematite on it and it's my favorite stone ever, which is not protective. It's a manifesting stone and that is selenite. This is my selenite wand. I absolutely love this. It is the most beautiful, wonderful stone ever, and when you feel it in your hand, you actually get this beautiful charge. I love it. But this one's a manifesting crystal. The thing about this is that you have to make sure that all of your intentions, all of your thoughts, all of your feelings are positive when you use it or you're around it, because if they're not, anything you think is going to be magnified times 10. So if you're sitting around thinking about how crappy your day is, don't have selenite around you. It's very powerful. You can't use it if you're on any sort of mind-altering substances, if you're drinking, anything like that. It's a very powerful stone. So if it's something that you want to look into, Google it, but make sure you do a lot of research because it's not something that you should just use. My grandmother, who passed away when my mother was 14, loves the smell of lavender. If you don't like the smell of your white sage burning because it's stinky, some people love it, some people hate it. I think my house smells like a turkey on Thanksgiving after I burn it. So I buy stuff to infuse with it. There are things like lavender that will welcome positive spirits because the sage is getting rid of negative you can put things in there to get back positive. So it's just kind of saying, okay, you know, we're getting rid of all this negative energy that might be lingering in this house, but thank you, positive spirits, thank you, ancestors, for remaining in my house. Here's a gift to you for the smell. So these are just things that you can kind of put in there. You can look up tons of things. Sweetgrass is a big one that people like to use. Other than that, there's not really, oh, yep, I left this out. This will always be, if you come to my house and you get a reading from me, there will always be a candle, a white candle, sitting on my table. And this also goes with you in your home. If your kid, especially if your child is open to spirit, and you don't want any negative in your house or whatever, if you're living with negative people, or even if you're trying to become a manifester and start opening your own sensibilities to getting in good things, infuse your candle. The most important thing, the strongest thing that you have is your intentions. So every time I get a new candle, a white candle, I will take it and I bless my candle. When I bless my candle, I thank my angels for infusing this candle with God's white light, love, and healing. And I say that whenever this candle is lit and there are flames presented on the candle, I thank you for filling my home and anybody else that comes in contact with its flame or around its flame. I thank you for filling them also with God's white light, love, and healing. And the only reason that I do that is because I want to make sure that when people are here getting their messages from their loved ones, that, like I said before, that they feel spirit. And as long as there's light, there can be no darkness. Once again, I don't care what you believe in, that's the truth. If you turn a light on in a dark room, there is no darkness anymore. So that is the important thing to remember when you're protecting your home, saging your home, doing anything to get rid of negativeness, whatever. There can be no dark within light. So that one's a good one to remember. Stick a couple candles, infuse every single one of them, and it will always keep your house clear, and you'll also feel the love in your heart. It's amazing. And once again, sorry to ramble on and on and on, but I thought that this would be important for you guys, especially the ones that ask how I protect my home, and the people who ask me to come and sage their house, because there's no reason to pay me when you can do it yourself. If you guys have any questions, comments, whatever, let me know. I want to let you guys know there is a wonderful woman who is a crystal healer, and she is on Facebook. The Facebook page is Hibiscus Moon, and I follow her. She's amazing. She calls us crystal hotties, and who doesn't live to be called a hottie every day? She also posts different crystals and all of these wonderful things on there, and I have learned a lot about crystals from following her page. Also, like I've mentioned like 2 or 3 times, Nicole Guillaume, you can find her on Facebook at Guiding Echoes, and she also is very good. If you have any questions about how to do protection or how to do anything like that, keep away negative energies, if you don't like the smell of sage, get a hold of her because she does a lot of different things. And I think if she puts out a video, I'll probably link it with this one just for you people that can't stand that smell, and I understand completely. Other than that, I'm done for the night. Love and light to every single one of you guys, and I hope nothing but beautiful, beautiful dreams come to you tonight. Have a good night.